what is up guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we have the tier list of December 2021, and in this one we changed Joe Fixit's points because he got reworked, and then the other champion that got reworked is Hawkeye. And then the only new champion that we had this month is Kraven, right down here. So out of all of those three, Joe Fixit got the best score. So let's talk about Joe Fixit first, because I really enjoy this champion. So he's right here. So he has 3 for Alliance War attack. Like, I feel like his utility is pretty nice, like that lifesteal, and the attack that he has can do some stuff. He's got a lot of bleeds. So, you know, if you have the mastery with debuffs, despair, it's how it's called. Basically have heal reversal right there. Pretty easy. And yeah, I feel like 3 is pretty decent for him. And then 4 for Alliance Quest. He's immune to poison, and the lifesteal is amazing, especially if you have him awakened, where if you pop a special attack, then you get 4 of the same cards. And if you get like the lifesteal, you're gonna have some pretty good heal, because it's like 28% if you have all 4 cards. And also if you get the jackpot, you get the attack rating with the lifesteal on top of that, which means the more damage you do, the more you heal. So yeah, his fury damage is pretty juicy, man. He's a pretty fun champion to use. For act content, 4 is pretty good for him, I think. He's not overpowered, but again, the healing that he provides is always pretty nice. The poison immunity, the bleed that he can apply, like 50 bleeds if you are aggressive enough. He's got a stun on his SP2. His SP3 gives him, I think he gives him like another debuff from the Dead Man's. So yeah, overall I think he's a pretty nice champion to use, even in Act 7, for example. Yeah. And then for variants, he is an extra large. He's getting that 5. And yeah, again, that utility, I love that utility that he has now. The lifesteal is honestly pretty nice, and the damage. But then for Labyrinth and Abyss, he's getting a 3 because his damage is pretty decent, but yeah, it's not like A-Guns or Human Torches. So yeah, 3, I think it's good because his damage with the SP1s is pretty nice. But the only problem is if the opponent is bleeding you, you don't deal as much damage, but it's still pretty decent. And then for Incursions, he's getting a 4 because he can apply those debuffs, and there is a node which I love using with Claire. So the more bleeds you apply, or basically when you apply bleeds, you apply power stings to the opponent. And with Claire, you use a heavy attack, you apply 3 bleeds, which means 3 power stings, and you can stack like 9 power stings, and they take 50,000 if they pop a special attack. And imagine that with Joe Fixit. You can apply like, I don't know, 20, 30 power stings, and if they pop the special attack, they are dead. And also on top of that, again, the healing. I feel like it's pretty nice. Like, even if you get 4 of them, 28% doesn't seem much, but it is. It is actually pretty good. And I would love to pull him as a 6-star or awaken my 5-star. So he's got 3.85, which means he's in the A tier, along with Hulk Immortal, She-Hulk, Mole Man, and Strife. Oh, and also Nebula, Medusa, and Cersei. So yeah, I think we're gonna make some adjustments next. Probably next tier list, so January 2022, and I'm gonna like see those champions, their ratings, the scores, and see, I don't know, maybe Cersei deserves to be higher or someone else, and yeah, I'll check those out. But yeah, Joe Fixit is pretty nice, man. Then moving on to Hawkeye. So Hawkeye right here, I think you guys can see him. Yeah, you can. So he has 3 for Alliance War attack. Like, he's got his power drain got nerfed a little bit, but even if you pop the SP1, you power drain them pretty nicely. But especially if you get that perfect release, you apply suppression, which is pretty nice, reduces their power rating by 50%. So pretty good. His damage, if the opponent is bleeding, it's pretty nice. Then also on top of that, he's got a slow. So I feel like 3 is good for Hawkeye in alliance wars. He can deal with like Thing, and yeah, if you pop the, I don't know, the synergy that gives him poison, I think it gives him poison instead of bleed. Yeah, there's a synergy where if the opponent is like bleed immune, you can apply poison to them instead. And Thing is bleed immune, so yeah, he's actually a perfect counter to Thing. He's got a slow and poison if you have the synergy. But then he gets 4 for Alliance Quest. I feel like he applies a lot of bleeds, he deals a lot of bleed damage. And also, the reason why he gets that is that there's a synergy with Nick Fury and other 3 champions. So with this synergy, you can be poison immune against all champions except mutants. So if there's like a path where there's no mutant, you can actually do that path. If there's like, I don't know, inflict poison, yeah, that path, you can't do that. You cannot do biohazard though, because you would only need to hit the opponent when like they're blocking. But still, I feel like 4 is good. He doesn't have like any healing, so I don't know, it might go down next tier list, but I don't know, we'll see. He gets 4 for act content and 4 for variants. Like, he doesn't have anything special for variants. He's not an extra large, or he's not a mystic or a tech for other variants. So yeah, he gets the same score right here against the slow. And the reason I put 4 on this guy is because of his synergies. His synergies are pretty nice, man. You can, there's actually a synergy where I think you pause the slow when you strike the opponent with an arrow. So that could be good, because it's only like, I think, a 10-second slow with the heavy attack. But even without the synergy, it's pretty nice. And then the poison instead of the bleed, very useful. And my favorite synergy is with Nick Fury, because I can use him with Deadpool X-Force as well, and remove both bleed and poison when using suicides. So I love using those synergies with Hawkeye. And then he gets a 3 for Labyrinth, because his damage is pretty decent. It's not crazy. It was crazy, but he got nerfed now, I'm pretty sure. And also, if the opponent is not bleeding, he doesn't deal too much damage. And then he gets 3 for Incursions just because of the slow. And you don't really use synergies in Incursions. It's like pretty strict in there. But yeah, again, the slow and the bleeds can do some pretty good stuff in Incursions. Then let's talk about Kraven. So Kraven got the worst, or actually, Hawkeye, he gets 3.65, which means he is right here in the B tier, but he's like one of the first ones in the B tier, along with Vision Age of Ultron and Magneto White version. So yeah, pretty good results, honestly. I love the buff. And then let's talk about Kraven, which Kraven is the worst of this update, this tier list. So he gets a 3. He gets like 3 for everything, because I feel like he's decent, but again, if the opponent is bleed immune, he doesn't deal too much damage, and even still, he doesn't do much damage. So I feel like with Kraven, like the AI has to play perfectly in order for you to deal decent damage. So it's not even that crazy. So let's say you like throw a bomb, they dash back, then you throw the SP2, you don't refresh those bleeds, you don't do that damage. So yeah, I feel like in like act content and Abyss, Labyrinth, where it's pretty difficult in there, Kraven is not the best option. So let's talk about his score. So 3 in Alliance War Attack. Again, you can use him. He's pretty fun with those bombs. You get like pretty much free openings. But the thing is that he doesn't do too much damage, so that's why he gets a 3. 3 for Alliance Quest, because again, he applies a lot of bleeds for like do you bleed and all of that. Not sustained though, or immunities, so that's why he gets a 3. And then 3 for act content and variants. Again, he deals decent damage if the opponent is not bleed immune. He can apply, like if you throw the SP3, you get a cruelty, which can give you a bit more damage. But yeah, the only like why I don't like using Kraven, or I haven't used him myself, but I've seen other videos, is that the AI has to pick perfectly, man. If they like dash in a bomb, it messes you up, and that's what I don't like about Kraven. But then he gets 3 for Labyrinth and Abyss. Again, decent damage if the opponent is now bleed immune, if you get that XP3 Cruelty. And then 3 for Incursions. So I feel like 3 is like, where is 3? So he is in the C tier, right here with Iceman, Centurion, Icarus, and Manthe, which all of them are pretty nice champions, honestly. But yeah, Kraven, I don't know, I don't really like the champion just because of that, because the AI can really mess you up. And yeah, I don't like being nervous when I'm using the champion. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, Joe Fixit got in the A tier, didn't add him though right there. But yeah, soon. And then Hawkeye is B tier, but honestly he's almost in the A tier, but not quite. But yeah, I feel like both of those buffs are pretty good this month. But Kraven is sitting like about here with Icarus, Man-Thing, Silver Centurion, and Iceman. But yeah guys, that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.